Welcome to my 2019 review. Yes, it's an excuse to look back over the year, see what I've done, reuse all that footage, much like they do in a sci-fi episode where someone looks back through their whole life or something. It's a cheap way and the actors get a day off. And in this case, I didn't have to create a diorama for it. So, what did I get up to? Well, I started and finished with snow and ice. And here's some beautiful shots of me dusting on snow, just to prove it. Yes, I spent a lot of time dusting snow this year. Occasionally I drove a vehicle through it, but more likely I just dusted snow, and then redusted snow, and then dusted snow again. But it did look beautiful when it was done. What else did I get up to? Well, oh yes, I played around with cutting mortar lines into foam walls. Brilliant, love how they came out. I also looked at 3D printing, FDM, resin and the differences between them. I did a few MRVP videos, and if you're not a subscriber to that, you can go and check them out. Let's make a scene. Yep, more snow and ice. Well, when you're onto a good thing.
The Great Model Railway Challenge is back, and it's smaller than ever. 15 teams of Britain's best model makers go head-to-head to create jaw-dropping worlds.
They're attaching some dinosaur bones to the cliff.
Can they keep these layouts on track?
It's just amazing. So much detail and quality.
Big competition, very little time.
30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes.
Come on, pressure is on.
Tiny trains, tiny margins.
All aboard!
Great to see some new ideas evolving.
For the biggest little show on TV.
Full steam ahead.
The Great Model Railway Challenge starts Friday at 8 on Channel 5.
Wow. Another high point of the year was the Great Model Railway Challenge. Apologies now for anyone overseas who hasn't seen it. But yes, UK viewers got a chance to see season 2 with me reprising my role as Stern Cathy. I know they say Stern Steve, but he's such a nice guy, he does struggle to look stern a lot of the time. But apparently I don't struggle to look stern, and they managed to capture every single shot of me looking stern that there were. I do talk to the people other than that, and I do smile, honest. So, great time. I learnt a lot, really imaginative, and if you can go find it somewhere, go watch it, especially the jousting nights. Well, that is something I've never seen done with trains before, and ooh, I'm not going to say any more in case you haven't seen it, but you have to go and see that Heat 5. Well worth it. But overall, the standard was amazing this year. People really had seen what had happened the previous year and they'd upped their ante, and it was brilliant to see them rise to the challenge. And it is a challenge. 24 hours is not a lot of time to build a whole model railway, and it just shows how gifted modelers they were to get it done in that time. Well, we're back on snow and ice again. Yeah, I don't know why there's so much snow and ice this year. I think I started it and then did it again. But I got a chance to use the 3D printer. I did my lock gates. I got a chance to experiment on a few things. And actually, I've spent most of the last 3 months of the year doing next year's projects. And next year, I'm looking at doing longer dioramas. I think doing just a series of techniques out of a diorama is really good and helpful, but I want to see what it's like to do one diorama in one video. The trouble is the videos do end up quite long. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below when I put the first one up on the length, because I'm just trying to find my way on this and see whether it works better or not. So here's a sneak peek of the first video up for next year. Yes, it's 1/6 scale. It's really large. I think people think, because you take photos and nobody can tell the scale, that it's quite small, but actually it's massive, and it's filling up a huge amount of space in my kitchen, and I'm looking forward to finishing it so I can find a massive amount of space somewhere else in my house. Yeah, running out of space, but hey, I'll keep building. But this is supposed to be 2019, so here's a few high points. So a whistle-stop tour. I started my Port de Nord in micro layout, and some of the videos I did related to that, especially the dock ones. I did the track work, well half of it, by doing the baseboard, the sides, which don't look very good. Probably would never do those again. Then I went and did my Lapworth locks diorama because I had to do some snow and ice, did a Hobby Zone modulars video, more track work. This is as far as I've got, sadly. I went on the Missenden Abbey weekend and did 3D model backdrops, which was great fun. I learnt a lot. I even did a painting. Then I did a little bit more of my Port de Nord layout. before moving on to the MRVP Model Railroader Video plus Walther's State Line Supply Challenge, where we had to build one. So I built it to go on my dock upstairs in my upstairs layout. Sad to say, that was all I did in it this year. But I then went to Birmingham, a couple of nice photos from Birmingham if you fancy coming on a convention there, before going on to Port de Norwich to take some photos of the real place. There's not a lot left. It fed this lovely quarry of de Norwich, and it's a beautiful part of the world if you get a chance to get up there. I even got to see a real life de Norwich loco, but oh, R2-D2. And chocolate, chocolate. Then I started on cosplay, a very satisfying distraction that ultimately taught me a lot about EVA foam, and I've started to use that in model railways. Played Titanfall 2, love it, played it twice. Did the Great Model Railway Challenge, went on a steam railway trip to the Severn Valley, which is just up the road. There's even elephants. And it rained. Well, it is the UK. Then I started 3D printing for my 1/6 layout, but that is Lapworth sneaking in again. And I actually did do a quarter scale man. He still looks like that now. I will eventually sort him. Then my cosplay got finished. Here we are. I even got a signed photo with Anson Mount, Captain Pike, and saw Sir Patrick Stewart, great guy, before getting assimilated. But that didn't last long, because then I went on to my 3D printed wolves, and here's the base of that diorama, and a Ferris wheel for the Funfair diorama. More on that next year. This is where the 1/6 ended up. And a pretty picture of my snow and ice to remind you I finished that. But YouTube, what was my #1 YouTube video? Yes, how to model static grass. Still going on that one. But Instagram, what was my #1 post? Me in cosplay. Yep, this isn't even my finished cosplay, this is an earlier one. And the #1 Facebook post was the Great Model Railway Challenge advert video that I ran. Whew, well, I'm exhausted. So this is where I currently am in my modelling. And one thing I must say is next year I am the keynote speaker at the Rails from the Rubble convention in New Zealand. So if you're fancying a trip there, come check me out. Otherwise, follow my progress on all the normal social media. And all that remains is for me to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to thank all my supporters, whether on Facebook, Instagram or YouTube, and especially my patrons who actually dig into their pockets to support me. I really do appreciate your support. So guys, I hope 2020 brings you all the modelling that you want and you have a great, fulfilling year.